He is the bestest, sweetest boy in the whole wide world. He is Clyde. He is Clyde. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. This week I am going to be continuing on with this process of revamping my studio. And I'm not gonna lie, I did have a completely different project planned out this week for this room, but that project was much bigger. I was going to have to be outside building some stuff, and it is going to be raining for a majority of the week, so I can't be outside building stuff. So I just had to move some stuff around, and this week I am going to be working on all of the fun odds and ends projects that I had planned for this room. So I've got a fun thrift store makeover, I've got a quick sewing project, I have a DIY gallery wall that I'm very excited about, and then I do have a quick little building project that I should be able to get in by the end of the week after the weather clears up. And I think once I finish these 4 projects, you guys are really gonna see the vision I have for this room come together. So with all of that being said, let's get started. Okay, so before I get started on this first project, I just have to take a moment to mention the new item in this room. So back when the dresser was going to be more neutral, I had a much more brighter, poppier, bold rug picked out, but the second I decided to paint this dresser green, I realized I was going to want to do a much more muted, but still colorful rug. So this rug still brings in the reds and the pinks that I was looking to bring into this room, but it also has green, which really nicely matches the dresser. It's got light blue, it's got dark blue, black, white. There's a variety of colors and I am obsessed with it. It's also a printed rug, so it has a distressed look to it, but it is really durable and it's going to be perfect for this room. So now that we've talked about my new favorite item, let's get started with this first project. So several months back, I picked up this amazing lamp from Goodwill. It has beautiful texture in it. It's got this really cool pattern. It's large. It was also, I think, $5. The only problem with it is it's missing the hardware or the little thing that goes around a light bulb to hold up a lampshade. It's also missing a lampshade. And the best part about this whole lamp is that it is purple and sparkly. So what I'm gonna be doing is just changing the color to make it no longer purple and sparkly, adding the little hardware to go around the light bulb to hold up a lampshade, and then adding a lampshade. So let's get started with this really quick project. Now let's finish up this lamp. So I got a lamp kit off of Amazon. Hopefully this should just pop right on here. Does it fit? It should. Yay! Okay, so that is on there. Now I can just pop this lampshade on here. I got this from Walmart, and originally I went with a much more straight shape to the shade, but it looked funny. I think this is the right shape because this tapers out and the body tapers in, so there's a nice balance. And then there should be something in here to hold this in place. I think this is it. Yep. And that finishes this first very easy project. Hello, good morning. So today I am going to be working on the wall that is behind me that has this window. And of course it looks bright and sunny and beautiful today, but I swear the weather has been all over the place and I think it's supposed to start raining in like an hour. So for the wall behind me, I have 2 projects planned out and I have to do one of them first before moving on to the other one. And the first project I have is getting some curtains hung. Curtains hung. And the curtains I have are these darker green velvet curtains from IKEA. And I actually just got these from a friend. She didn't need them anymore and she gave them to me. But my friend had cut them. I'm not sure why. So unfortunately, these green curtains are now cut, and they are too short because they are cut, which is fine. Instead of completely scrapping them and not using them, I just got some velvet black fabric that I am going to sew and add to the bottom to cover up the cut part and also make them long enough. So what I am going to do is get these curtains hung up, and then I'm going to figure out where the black fabric needs to start so that it does look nice and it does look purposeful and like this is how they have always been. So I'm gonna get started doing all of that. You'd think I would have learned my lesson to not stand on chairs, but nope. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do a foot and have it be like a nice little border at the bottom. So I basically treated these curtains kind of like how you would hem a dress, where I left the curtains hanging up and then I measured from the ground 12 inches up, and I took a bunch of safety pins and I pinned that out so that I knew exactly what line I needed to sew to add this black fabric. So now that I have all of that figured out, I am going to get started cutting out the 2 black pieces that I need to sew them to the curtains. Yay! Okay, so that was a very quick and easy little sewing project, and honestly I have to thank my friend Rachel for cutting the curtains that she gave me, because I love the way this black fabric looks at the bottom. So thank you, Rachel, thank you. So now that my curtains are up, I can get started on this next project, and that is a gallery wall, and the gallery wall is going to go on each side of the window. Hi, buddy. And I had to get these curtains up first so that I could determine how far out the curtains were gonna go from the window and how much space I was going to have on the walls. These frames behind me I have been collecting over the last probably year, and they are all like pretty and gold and ornate, but I don't have as many frames as I would like. So I have these black frames that I just had laying around that I am going to make gold and ornate looking. And then I also have this artwork right here that I absolutely love that I picked up at a thrift store, and I am just going to also make this frame gold and kind of like a brushed brass look. So I'm gonna make these frames look the way I want them to look, and then we will go from there. Okay, I am really pleased with how these frames turned out, and I also like that they bring a different gold element to this gallery wall. My hope was to have a variety of golds and different looking frames within the gallery wall, so I think that is achieved. And as you might be able to tell, I did not finish this gallery wall yesterday. After I finished up the frames, I had to spend some time gathering all of the things I needed to finish up this gallery wall, and gathering took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So let me quickly explain what I got and what I have to do to finish up this gallery wall. Two of the frames I had already had the artwork I wanted in there, so that was great, that was easy. And then I had three things that I wanted to put in these frames, but they were irregular shapes, so they weren't gonna fit nicely in any of the frames. So what I did is I went to Michael's and I had 3 custom mats made. And I know having custom mats made might sound expensive, but this is actually a very inexpensive way to get a more custom framed look for less. Each one of these mats were roughly $10, so that is much cheaper than, of course, having something custom framed, which can be very expensive. And then I had 4 frames left to figure out what I even wanted to put in them, and although it is October, I really didn't want to leave that spooky wedding photo in the large frame. And for my 2 matching frames, I knew I wanted to put something that had a similar theme in each one of them, and I instantly thought of something that I have always loved, and that is vintage magazines. So I went online and I found 2 digital downloads of vintage magazine covers, had those printed, popped them in the frame, and they were good to go. And then there were 2. So my initial thought was just to make some quick paintings myself, but then I thought of an art hack that I have seen all over the internet that I have really wanted to try, and that is making faux oil paintings. So what you need to do to make a faux oil painting is go online and find some digital downloads of a painting that you like. And you want it to be a painting because the painting is going to already have the brush strokes and the look you want to make it more of a convincing faux oil painting. So I went online and I found 2 paintings that I really liked. I had them printed in the sizes that I needed, and from there you're going to take some light grit sandpaper and lightly sand the print. This is going to add more texture to the print, and it's also going to make it a little bit more matte. And then after you sand, you're going to take some matte Mod Podge and paint it over the print. This is going to create texture, this is going to create a cool brush stroke look, and because it's the matte Mod Podge, it is going to mattify the print and give this an oil painting look. So I'm going to quickly do all of that, finish off this gallery wall so that I can get to the 4th and final project I have this week. So this last project up is going to be a very quick and easy little building project. If you have seen me film in here before, from time to time you might see me sitting, not on the ground, but actually at a table. This is a cheap little desk that I got from IKEA, and I've always really liked how functional it is for how I use this space. A lot of times I do need to clear out this space, so it is great to take down and store away when I need the space to be clear. but I've never been a huge fan of the actual tabletop itself. It is this bright white table that now for sure isn't going to fit the vibe I have going on in this room. And also the white table is always felt kind of small. I've always wanted it to be slightly bigger. So every time I'm working at this desk, I constantly have stuff falling off the edges because it's just a little too small. So what I am going to be doing is making a new tabletop. And to make this tabletop, I made this as easy as I possibly could. I didn't want this to be a complicated thing. I got 2 project boards that I am going to be, well, basically gluing and screwing together. So I'm gonna head outside so that I can cut these project boards down slightly to make this tabletop the size I want it to be. So let's get started with this final project. That is it, guys. I did not know I could love this room this much, but this is shaping up to be my dream studio or just like all around creative room. I mean, I actually like working in here, and I'm currently editing this video in here as we speak. That never happens, but the vibe in here is just so different than what it was. And this new tabletop has made such a difference, and I can't wait to do a messy art project at this table so that I can use the easy cover I added to keep this tabletop nice and clean. And all together, these projects this week just made this room feel so cozy, and really this just now feels like my room because, well, I've just filled it with everything that I love. And to think, I still have 2 pretty large projects to do in this room, so I'm going to love this room even more than I do right now, which I didn't think was possible. So I hope you guys liked this video. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.